Welcome back to the Entrepreneur's Corner. My name is Raji and I'll be your host. And today I'll be interviewing
Radwan. It's a pleasure to be here, guys.
It's a pleasure to have you here. All right. So Radwan, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself?
For sure. So I'm Radwan Elderay. I'm 23 years old currently. Attending the University of Windsor for biology. In my last year right now, thinking about going to physiotherapy in the future at Wayne State or wherever school accepts me.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right. So I know you love the gym. So the first question I'm going to ask you is, how did you get into the gym? What was your first step into the gym?
So I would say about 6 or 7 years. So back in 2016, 2015. So I was in grade 10. I remember I've always been into sports, watching sports, soccer, basketball, all that. But I was never really good at it. I was a skinny kid. I was weighing 120 pounds, really.
Yeah.
And seeing all these athletic kids, really made me jealous, I would say, but also inspired as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to be just like them. So I remember I live really close to this one gym called Good Life Fitness. Mm-hmm. It's like 2 minutes away from my house. And every time I would pass by it before we go to school. And one day I decided to kind of make the effort to actually go. I told my dad, hey, I want to go to the gym. I was too skinny. I really want to put on some muscle mass and just to kind of feel good about myself. So, of course, I didn't know anything about it. Did a little research, but, nothing really like that. Maybe a couple of videos I watched about how to do a bicep curl or how to work on your chest. Simple things like that.
That was like me too. Like when I first got into the gym, I was the opposite actually. I was a much bigger kid and I wanted to lose weight, right? So when I first went to the gym, I was I was searching videos on how to lose weight, and everybody was saying, run a lot, do a lot of cardio, and do some weight training, do some swimming, lose some weight. You lose a lot more. You burn a lot more calories swimming because your body's under the water.
It is true. It is true.
So honestly, that's how I got into the gym, right? Mm-hmm. And for your story too, I felt like I was a little bit jealous of people too who could play sports. So I can really relate to what you said there.
Yeah.
I always wanted to be play basketball, for a little bit. And when I was in grade school, actually, I played volleyball for a little bit, right? But the thing is, I was just a backup player. That was for me. That's what really angered me, and I really wanted to get better, skinnier, look better, and go to the gym. And
kind of wanted a little spotlight. You
Definitely.
know what I mean? Like any kid would like that. Any kid would love that spotlight.
100%.
Kind of be like the starter.
Yeah.
I'm the role player. All that, etc. It's just it feels good. You know what I mean? Builds that confidence.
Yeah, you want to
be
feel
known
like
for something.
You want to feel like a main character, not
Absolutely.
the side character or an NPC.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Okay, so what keeps you in the gym? Like, what is the reason why you keep going? Is there like
for
a
sure?
certain
So
reason?
yeah, like I said, so ever since I started, I didn't really know too much in the beginning. I looked absolutely stupid when I was working out. I remember.
We all did.
I remember I was doing certain exercise. If I look at it to this day, I would just laugh at myself. But hey, of course we learn from our mistakes. I remember I bench press one time. I hurt myself. First time ever. I dropped it on myself, hurt myself. I was embarrassed. But of course, usually people, when they make a mistake, they usually tend to back away from their mistakes and never really kind of push themselves harder in a way.
Yeah.
So instead of that, I kind of got back to the drawing board and went looking at YouTube videos, learning my mistakes. How can I improve on that? Learning about other muscle groups. And at the time as well, I kind of got more invested into learning about the human body. It just tends to intrigue me a little bit. I really like learning about, how the muscle moves, how this certain bone, collides with this bone, blah, blah, blah. Exactly. So as I kept doing a lot of research on YouTube, I must have at least watched millions of YouTube videos, thousands of hours, honestly.
Yeah.
So I acquired a lot of knowledge, and shout out to Christian Guzman. That's probably my biggest inspiration, and Russell as well. I watch these guys
I love Christian's videos, man.
Christian Guzman, I'm telling you, he made it from nothing, man.
And Max too. I
Max
like
Chewing. I used to watch him, honestly. He's cool as well. He's funny.
Cool.
He's so funny.
He's really funny.
He's so funny.
I love his videos, and I love his candy, man.
And I'm telling you, there's a guy I just mentioned right now, Russell. I love his sort of energy that he presents. I watched him from literally once he first started in a way, where he was coming alpha lead, he was nobody. He was kind of nobody, just coming in, just gymming and out, right?
Yeah.
And I just loved his energy where he presented. He would come in dripped out, he would wear a headband, come with that crazy energy, and I was just like, definitely. I can relate to this guy. I want to be just like this dude.
100%.
So as I got into the gym, of course, I started building a little bit of confidence, learning this exercise and this exercise, learning what the difference is, what it targets, and especially with the gym, there's a thing called muscle-mind connection. So what a muscle-mind connection is really, honestly, is once you're doing a certain exercise, you're able to connect to a certain muscle where you're able to kind of connect to it through, you know, your nervous system with your mindset. So you're able to kind of understand, this is targeting the upper lat or whatever. So over time, I started to learn this connected to that, this is that and that. So I did more research. So of course, I got to the point where I just started to really love it. Honestly, I just couldn't really just back away from it. I found something that you truly
it completes you almost.
Completes me and what defines who I am.
When you're feeling down, you can go there and just let all your anger away or all your stress. You just feel so relaxed.
Just like tonight. Tonight's a Saturday night. I'm here tonight with you. After this, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go to gym. Have a great night. Play some music. Get my feels a little bit. But after that, go home, get a nice little meal, and that's it, man.
Definitely. So what was have you ever worked for a gym related job?
Yes, I have actually. So I would say back in 2021, so last year, I worked as a personal trainer at this one gym called Peak Fitness and Health and Studio. Beforehand, though, I've always wanted to work at a gym. I've always wanted to work at front desk, personal trainer. No one ever gave me the chance. The thing about it is, if you want to become a front desk worker or personal trainer at times, it kind of relates back to connections. That's the issue with reality nowadays. It's just always connections.
Definitely.
And as a PT as well, I kind of didn't have the confidence to in the beginning. Of course, I put on a lot of size. I was kind of getting a name in a way, and I just didn't have that confidence just to kind of take that step forward to become that personal trainer. But until 2021, I believe I was working at Swish LA before. And I decided to make that change. I was like, you know what? I can't keep working this. I got to take a big step forward in my life. And
you got to follow your passion.
Exactly. I can't just keep working at a restaurant. Why? This is not me. You know what I mean? I don't enjoy working here. Nothing against them. I love the job, but it's not me. You know what I mean? I need to do something that I actually enjoy being, such as the environment. And in the beginning of it, I had to get a certification. So I got my IFA certification, CPR and first aid, and then I had to look for a gym to get interviewed by. Called a couple places, emailed a couple places, no response, of course, right? Which is normal, no hate to them.
Definitely.
And till I applied for the Peak Fitness Studio, gave me a call back, talked to them, got accepted, and from there, pursued into becoming a personal trainer, and I loved it. Honestly, it's great because I just started to understand and realize where I came from goes back to these people in a 100%. Way, where I can see, I can kind of vision it. I'm like, I remember being in this guy's shoes in a way, and how can I make an impact on this person? Because when I first started, I didn't really have a role model. I didn't really have a person that guided me in a way. It was all by myself. Like I told you, I was watching millions of videos. And it was tough, man. Watching all these videos sitting there.
You can get lost in the videos easily.
Get lost, you know what I mean? This guy's saying this, and this guy's saying this. Because as you were telling before, in the beginning, you want to lose weight when you were a big kid. The thing about the fitness industry, I'm not hating on it or anything. There's a lot of myths. There's a lot of myths that do not get fooled by it. There's a lot of accurate information, of course, but then there's myths. So you need to kind of learn what's true and what's not. So as I grew up, I got mixed up with the myths and the truth. And then further on, I started to realize and learn this is what it means. This is what the truth is. It's what you need to do if you want to put on muscle mass. Got to be on a calorie surplus. Got to eat these certain foods. You got to train to the limit, give it 110%. You can't come in and just chase after a pump and expect muscle mass. Exactly. It doesn't really work like that. Of course, it's enjoyable. No, getting a pump is nice and all. You know what I'm trying to say, but
definitely.
But
you gotta it's something that a lot of people don't understand is that tracking your calories is very critical. If you don't do it, it's almost like throwing gains out the window, or you're not gonna lose your weight because you're not doing it properly.
For sure. So let me give you a great example. So every time I go on a cut, I have to track my calories. Because before then, when I did my first ever cut, I didn't track no calories. I just went based off my guessing, experience, whatever. I'm like, it's gonna be 150 grams or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But honestly, I was either eating too much or eating too little with just by going by based off of my guessing game.
Mm-hmm.
But once I really start tracking and actually weighing my food, literally going to Walmart, buying a $20 food scale, placing food, checking how much grams, going on MyFitnessPal, plugging it all in, blah, 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 blah. And then I started to realize, man, I was eating too much before. That's why I wasn't losing weight.
Mm-hmm.
Makes so much sense. So then after that, I started, constantly just tracking. And then I learned from Christian and Russell as well that you need to drop calories throughout the weeks, well, increase your cardio.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the thing about when you're on a cut, your body's going to adapt to the certain amount of energy you're able to produce.
Yes.
Which is you hit a plateau. That's why people tend to get stuck. And that's completely normal. People will never understand how to get out of a plateau, but just got to do a lot of research, man. I'm telling you, like that's how I had to further myself to the point I'm at today. Is just watching a lot of YouTube videos and talking to certain people and acquiring knowledge from here and there and there.
Definitely.
Of course.
Definitely. And recently I remember I was hearing from a couple of my friends that you had an injury that kind of took you away from the gym.
Yeah,
you want to go and speak about it a little bit?
For sure, absolutely. This was probably my first ever injury. Like I've never been injured, alhamdulillah.
Oh yeah.
And this honestly came random. It was shocking and it was really sad. In the beginning, it started off as like a minor nerve pinching pain against my glute, on my left glute, and didn't really affect me too much. I was still able to go to the gym and communicate with people, blah blah blah. Nothing too serious. But as time went on,
it just got worse. Yeah,
and worse.
That's the thing with nerve pain.
Got to the point I was crying, man. I don't cry.
Yeah,
I don't cry. I just laugh, man. I just laugh, enjoy the time with my friends. But man, it got to the point I was crying. I was going to the doctor. It was literally every single day. I was like, doctor, nothing's changing. He was giving me muscle relaxers. Didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
They were giving me other medications. Did not do anything. Went to the hospital. Waited that 8 hours. You know what I mean? The waiting line is terrible, but it is what it is.
Free healthcare comes with its...
there you go. It's Canada for you guys.
That's Canada.
But man, honestly, like I would just sit there and just be in pain, man. My parents, especially my parents, I felt so bad for them because, like, as a 23-year-old, they used to understand that I'm a grown man. They understand I'm independent. I can take care of myself. But now they're like kind of treating me like a baby a little bit.
Well, it happens when your parents, like, when your parents see their son or someone like their kids, when they see them going through pain, it also hurts them.
Exactly, and that's what hurt me the most.
Yes,
just seeing them, like my mom would constantly come in. She's up. She's waking up at 2 a.m, coming in and take care of me. I'm like, Mama, you can leave me. It's okay, Mom. You don't have to take care of me. It's okay. But I really was in pain. Like I didn't need it, but I felt bad. I just didn't want her to
100%
to be up mid sleep to take care of you. But man, I'm telling you, it was tough to the point where finally, the doctor finally figured out what it was at the hospital. And what it was the nerve was pinching on the muscle.
Oh.
So it got to the point because my muscle was really inflated. And the nerve is right there. So your glute muscle, let's say that's how it is. And in between that glute muscle is the nerve. I forgot the name of the nerve, but it starts off from your herniated disc and it goes all the way down to your leg. So it was pinching on the glute. It got to the point where it was just pushing on it. And then it got infected after because no treatment was being taken care of. I was dealing with it for a good 6 weeks. No one was helping me.
Oh my God.
So I wasn't able to walk. I'm telling you, I couldn't walk. I'll go to the bank. Sliding my leg. I had to sit down because I couldn't stand still for like longer than 2 minutes.
Definitely.
I'll be in pain crying, man. It literally was the worst thing I've ever dealt with in my life, but alhamdulillah, I finally have gotten better. I'm back at it now.
Yeah, I realized that. I've seen your stories on Instagram. Like I see your meal preps. I see you're getting back to the gym. How is it after that injury that you were able to find the motivation again to just go back and go even harder this time?
All right. So one thing, man, I'm telling you, this was probably the most humbling experience I ever dealt with. Because like I said before, I never really dealt with anything in my life like this before. No injuries, no nothing. So once this happened to me, it was a sort of like wake up call, let's say, and it really like kind of got me to kind of think more spiritually a little bit more, where I was like, I was once this big guy lifting all these heavy weights, eating this, and able to talk to these people and this, and now I'm just laying in a bed, not able to move, in pain, crying. You know what I mean? And I'm weak, I'm fragile. It kind of made me realize how fragile this life is. You know how short this world is, and it got me more connected to my faith.
100%. We take life so like we let things slide so
granted.
much.
I'm telling you, like one thing I realized in this world is more like when you're healthy, people tend to, I would say, they would just tend to like not really realize how blessed they are.
Yes, they don't.
Until they are injured or sick. Man, please get me better. Please get me better. Well, honestly, it doesn't work like that.
You don't realize your blessings.
You need to realize how blessed you are.
Start to lose them.
Exactly.
That's a very tough thing. The thing is, like a lot of people these days, they complain so much about the smallest things. Like, oh, my car's not working this morning. You know, you have a car. You're blessed to have a car.
Of course.
Oh, my house is cold. Yeah. You have a house. You have a roof. Oh man, I hate Canada. I hate this. Man, you live in Canada. You live in a first world country.
Freedom country, man.
Exactly. People live in Syria, Iraq, everywhere around the world. All these places, Lebanon, where they're begging for pennies, bread. They just want bread to eat, and we're complaining about the small.
Let me ask you a question, actually.
Yeah, what's up?
Have you ever been back home?
I've only been to my home country is Syria.
Yeah.
I've only been to Syria one time in 2009.
2009.
When I went to Syria in 2009, it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I loved it so much. But the thing is that I noticed there everybody was so much more happy. Even if they made less money, they were all so much more happy because they realized they have blessings.
Of course, I agree with you on that part, because I've been to my home country. My home background country is Iraq.
Yeah,
been there a couple of times, and I've been to Syria as well. Actually,
really?
I'll get to that point. So when I was back in Iraq, I noticed, of course, it's poverty. It's sad, but it's happy as well.
They're all happy,
and you don't understand at first. But what I really realized, it's because it's so family orientated. Whenever you're bored, like us here, if you're bored, what do? Go to gym or go hang out with the boys,
on TikTok, go watch YouTube.
Yeah, there you go. Right, go on social media to kill time. Over there, if the family's bored, let's go hang out with the family, man.
Yeah, they all go.
Be a group of like 50 people. Oh, just drinking tea, eating some dessert, just talking.
Yeah, they're all
cracking jokes. Blah, 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 this and that. It's just great vibes.
It's
just
a
amazing.
Good vibe, yeah.
You know what I mean? I was there for a good month in Iraq. I remember the last time I've been there was 2017. I had the best time of my life as well. It changed my mindset coming back here and realizing how blessed I was to be in a country like this.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And like I said, people are usually not really.
We take things so much for granted.
There you go. That's what I'm trying to say. You took the words out of my mouth. So I'm just saying we're just not grateful enough.
Yes.
To be blessed like that. So going back to, actually, I was gonna say I've been to Syria as well, actually, and this is just a month before when the bombing happened.
Yeah. And
there was the president. I forgot which president exactly.
Bashar.
That was the that was. Yeah, so I was there. I was literally a month just before I went. So I was like, imagine a month later. Man,
I was actually supposed to go. I think it was 2011 when everything started happening, or 2010.
That's when
I was supposed to go, and my flight got canceled.
Wow.
You know what's crazy? I had two other friends. We were all going to be on the same exact plane.
Damn. Wow. Yeah, this is back in 2011, I believe. I was in grade 6. Yeah. You would be in grade 4 or something like that.
Yeah, like grade 5, grade 4, yeah.
Yeah. It's a long time ago, man. I remember this. But anyways, I was going to go back. So to realize how blessed we are, that's when I was in the hospital. And I'm telling you, at the hospital, there's no Wi-Fi. I mean, there was Wi-Fi, but it was garbage. And data wasn't working. Service was garbage there. So there's no TV, no nothing. So what's there to do? I'm up. I'm just sitting there thinking. And that's something I honestly have realized in my 23 years of life. You need to sit down and think to yourself.
100%. When you hit these moments and you hit these walls in front of you, and you get that time to just sit down and think and actually reflect on your past.
Exactly.
You learn so much, and you become so much more motivated to actually fix what you're doing that's wrong.
There you go. Exactly. Like I'm telling you, you guys need to sit down and think sometime, because you guys, of course, are going to get busy. School there, work, even go to the gym, talk to your buddies. You won't have time necessarily to sit down, just break things down to yourself and realize, what am I doing? You know what I mean? because I've had that, those experiences where I'm so occupied to the point where I actually don't even know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? But once you have that opportunity to just sit down and reflect upon your life decisions and your future goals, it changes everything. And that's when I got more connected to my faith as well.
100%.
And that's when now that alhamdulillah I've gotten better fully now, I've recovered fully, I just have decided that I want to fully pursue to this fitness industry now. And I want to impact people.
Yeah.
I just feel like this is me, you know what I mean? Definitely. Of course, I've been working out for years now, and I've always had that ambition to do that, but I never had the confidence.
You know something? I saw this one video on TikTok. I think it was about a week ago. It said, it relates to what you were just saying.
Okay.
So it's very perfect. It says, like, we were all given. It's like on Christmas Day, you open your present and you want to share it. You want to take on and social media and take a picture and show what you got, right?
Okay.
So that's an example, right? But we are all like the presents, but we don't want to open them and show everybody. The second you open your present and give your story and tell everybody about you, because God gave you a life and a story, and He chose you for that story.
I watched this video, man.
Yeah,
that really impacted me a lot.
Man,
that makes so much sense.
So much. I literally loved the video. I wish there was a button on TikTok to love, not just like.
Oh yeah, man! I'm telling you, man.
Because that video really changed my life. I'm like, damn. I started making TikToks about 3.5 weeks ago, and I like the
you're
growth
killing
was
it, man.
very
He's killing
slow.
it. I'm telling you guys.
I mean, I'm doing my best.
He's doing
right?
good. You guys gotta keep watching shit.
Yeah, but I'm doing my best right now. And the thing is, in the beginning, they were just nothing was happening. It was very slow. Even right now, it's still slow. But hey, this is the thing. I realized everything takes time, and I was gonna quit. I saw this one video, and I'm like, damn, maybe it's just like I have a story to tell other people, and people have to learn from me. And if I don't preach my message, maybe they might find it from somebody else. But maybe if I say it, it might become more meaningful. After I started making these videos, bro, people actually started texting me, hitting me up, like, yo, can we sit down and talk? I want to learn.
Man. I've literally been doing the same thing as well with you. Like, you might think no one notices you, because I felt like that before.
Yeah. But you make an impact.
But you do make an impact when somebody's just laying down in his bed, just chilling, talking, looking, just scrolling through TikTok, and he watches your video. Sometimes they actually do get impacted. Damn.
Yeah.
Roger's killing it, man.
Yeah.
Like double follow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like, it actually does something. You just got to keep pushing. You know what I mean? Just got to keep going.
Definitely.
And you got to think about it. Look at these YouTubers. Like I mentioned, Christian Guzman.
Yeah.
Russell.
In the beginning, they were nobodies.
They were nobody. Watch them. If you guys really don't believe me, go back to these guys.
Go back to their first videos.
I don't remember how many years ago, maybe 8. But they were literally, their content was dark. It was garbage. Like, you know what I mean? They didn't really talk too much about anything, but they just kept putting out videos.
Consistency is key.
Consistency, exactly. Like,
that's what I realized.
You know, this one YouTuber, Gideon,
I love
my favorite YouTuber.
He's one of my favorites, definitely.
I was just hanging out with my brother the other day. We were just watching a Gideon, and we went back all with his videos. Right? I'm curious. I want to see how this guy started. Guess when he started? 3 years ago.
Yeah.
3 years ago.
And content was killing it.
Content was kind of decent, right?
But right now,
3 years later, the guy is worldwide sensation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he has a connection with everybody you could think of, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, yo, it's possible to make it out, man. You can make it anywhere you want. You just need to keep making that drive.
This is what happened. This is my thought process, right? Everybody that made it, at a certain point in their life, they were a nobody. Nobody knew who they were. That's what I'm saying. I see all these tech YouTubers, right? I love watching all these tech YouTubers, all these finance YouTubers, everything, right? Every kind of YouTuber. Logan Paul, KSI. I love watching them. I've been watching them for years and years.
Of course.
Casey Neistat. I've been watching Casey Neistat before he even hit a million subscribers. I've been like, PewDiePie. All these big, huge guys.
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
The thing is, when I first started watching them, the last one I want to say is Marcus Brownlee. I love his videos. He's a tech YouTuber. He's a very good tech YouTuber. But the thing is, if you go back to their first videos, you're gonna notice their videos were not great.
Absolutely.
But what happened was they were consistent. They created a pattern. They learned what works. They learned what didn't work.
Of course.
And they learned how to actually do this properly. And that's why I feel like social media is such a big thing that people don't take advantage of, right? Of
course.
I realized recently you've been trying to take it more like an advantage on it, right? I see your fitness page you
appreciate
have for
it, man. I appreciate
TikTok and Instagram.
I've just, like I said, like as we're talking about this topic right now, I thought about it as I'm laying in that bed, getting close to my faith, and I'm like, man, I need to push myself to this fitness thing. I can do it.
Yeah.
I just didn't have the confidence before. But now, what's holding me back, man? Just like you, what's holding us back? Let's just push it. Let's do it. Make a video right now. As we're doing it right now, let's make a video. Edit it out there and there and there. Push it out. Next day, same thing. Boom, 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 boom. Push it out.
No, definitely.
You know what I mean? And I'm telling you, each time, one thing I realized, because with my experience with TikTok as well right now, each time I post something, the editing gets better. The ideas get better. You know what I mean? Each time you do something, it gets better and better.
Yeah.
Think about it in a year from now.
And if you're shy, bro, just think about it like this. I've watched so many videos, and this one guy, he keeps popping up on my For You page. I can't remember his name, but he said something that really stuck with me. He's like, listen, man, no matter what happens, the people that see you making these videos, if you're doing them in public, obviously, people who see you making these videos and you're shy about what they're going to think, these guys are going to walk away, and I promise you 10, 15 minutes, they're not even going to remember you were a part of their day.
Of course.
Right?
But let me get to one topic. It's kind of a sensitive topic, but, one thing that honestly that upsets me about with social media, with like how you as us right now, we're starters, we want to get into something in the future, of course, is just the surroundings that we're in right now, such as like certain people that we are surrounded by always hating. Yeah. You know what I mean? It just upsets me because, like, end of the day, like, you're supposed to be my boy and you're supposed to support.
100%.
But like, the most support I tend to get is either people that I somewhat know, or just non-followers, or just randoms in a way. That's what I noticed too, man. And it's just like the people who I'm close to don't really tend to support. And I'm like, it doesn't make sense to me, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you can relate. It's just in my experience, it just kind of upsets me.
I can 100% relate with you. And another quote I heard before, I've seen this again on TikTok. The more you grow, the closer the circle, the closer the circle gets, and the smaller it gets, right? So you're gonna realize these people, maybe they are my friends, but maybe if I stay with them, like, I won't be able to pursue my passions because they're pulling me down. You want to get away. I
can relate to that, man. Yeah. I actually did have that issue with building my confidence, because sometimes when I did post something, people would
laugh at you.
They would mock me. And I'm a sensitive guy sometimes, you know what I mean? Me sure, too, I'm a big guy, whatever, 100%. Cool, right? But I'm a sensitive guy sometimes, man. If somebody really did say something to me that you mean, and especially if you're my boy, like, you mean something to me, like, in my life, and if you're gonna mock it, I'm gonna feel embarrassed, you know what I mean? And it's gonna it's gonna kill my drive to continue doing what I want to do.
Yeah, it's always like family and friends that you feel like it feels like someone took an arrow, shot it right into you,
literally,
and like, you're literally struggling to pull it out,
and you'll be at home late night just thinking about it, because it does really impact you, and it bothers you so much. And that's what I hate, man. When either your boys are supposed to, or even family, or anyone in your surroundings are supposed to help you drive, man, you're killing it. Keep going, bro. Hey, I have some ideas for you. Yo, I want you to do this. I actually got a connection for you. I want you to do a collab with this guy. This and this and that. These are the people you need in your life, because they're looking for your future. They're looking out for you in the day. So
at the end of the day, you're only one video away. Like, it could be any video, anything.
Literally.
Pushes you through the moon.
That's the time we're in right now. There's one video blows you up, man. Yeah.
And if you stop today because you don't think that I'm gonna be able to do it, bro, like, it's not worth quitting. Quitting is not an option anymore, right? If you want to start something, you got to be able to realize that quitting is not an option. You can't be a quitter. I want to be someone who learns. If I fail, I'm gonna learn from my failure, and I'm gonna go on.
Like, I'm telling you right now, I realize that now. And the group of friends I'm dealing with right now, I'm so blessed to be around them. You know what I mean?
100%.
Including you, my barber, Abud Cuts. You know,
you guys are like brothers to me.
Really, I'm telling you, like, I knew the guy from a long time ago. I think it was Talbot Trail, like when it was elementary school and high school, in the beginning of high school. I talked to him about basketball or whatever. You know, cool guy. You know what I mean? But then from there, I lost connection. And then a close buddy of mine told me, "Yo, give him a shot." You know what I mean? I was like, you know what? Bet, let's go. Once he got my hair, man, I fell in love with it.
I couldn't go anywhere else.
And I couldn't go anywhere else. And then after that, he was just so close to his clients. He's able to connect. And I was like, man, this guy's a sweet, good guy. I really like him.
Nice guy.
You know what I mean? That's why I consider him as my close friend. I consider you as my boy. You know what I'm saying? And then the friends with myself right now, I'm dealing with right now, is just amazing guys. You know what I mean? 100%. So it's just, I'm blessed to have these certain people in my life, because not only have they helped me push me to my future, but they're supportive as well. You know what I'm trying to say?
100%. You know, you got to surround yourself with people who make you better at the end of the day. No matter what it is, if you want to become better, you got to look at your 5 friends. This I've heard this quote 100
Let's
times.
hear it out, bro.
Right? Your 5 friends make up who you are. So if you hang out with 5 bums, then you're going to be 4 bums, you're going to be the 5th bum. Or the 5 bums, you're going to be the 6th bum.
Absolutely.
If you hang out with 5 people who have a rich mindset and want to become wealthy, you're going to become the 6th one. If you hang out with 5 people who have a mindset of greatness and bettering themselves and getting high on their faith and doing better things, you will be the 6th one, guaranteed.
It's always your surroundings. I've 100%. Heard this millions of times.
So always just try to surround yourself with people who make you want to do better.
Because your personality will go based off your surroundings.
100%.
You become a bad kid based off your surroundings. You know what I mean? Be a good kid and a rich kid or whatever you want be in life, just based off your surroundings. Look at these influencers, fitness influencers. All these people have become the people they are today based off their surroundings, and they're all influencers as well. Tech guys, they're all surrounded by tech guys, literally, right? Who else? Give me another guy.
Like what else? Finance guys.
Anyone
they always go to the same. If they go to a convention, they're gonna see 10 other finance creators there.
Literally,
right?
Everybody you go to, surroundings, tech guys, or
you gotta surround yourself with who you want to make yourself better. That's at the end of the day.
It's always about your surroundings, guys. You guys always gotta remember that. Surroundings.
Mentality has to stay strong, and you gotta become a better person. I can speak from past experience. I've went through so many friend groups in the past. I'd say last
tell
year,
me about that, man.
Bro, last year, man, I switched my friends up. Maybe like every week, I had a new friend group. I'm not even joking.
I can relate to that, man.
Every week, I had a new friend group, and it's just like, damn, am I actually doing this right? Are these the right people for me? Like. And it's not like I cut them off. No, I don't cut anyone off, right?
Yeah.
I slowly, I merge and talk to other people, but then I go back and talk to other people because I feel bad. But at the end of the day, there was a time where it was just, you know what? It's me, myself, and I. That's the only person.
Let me ask you one question.
What's up?
Because I can kind of relate to this. Do you ever feel comfortable with hanging with these certain people? Did you feel confident sometimes? Like you just felt comfortable and confident, like speaking your mind sometimes in a way.
So here's the thing. The reason why a lot of the times when I would kind of push myself away is because I kind of realized most of the time when I would be speaking to these people, they kind of shut me down or push me down. And it just gets to a point where damn, bro, I'm really hanging out with people who are trying to not better me or not make me feel better about myself.
Absolutely. Because in my experience, sometimes you can get a sense of a gut feeling sometimes. I don't know if you can relate to that, but
100%.
you'd be hanging with a certain new crowd, talking to them, speaking your mind, saying certain things, whatever, and a gut feeling is telling you, don't be around these people. This is not for you. You know what I mean? This is not you. You should be in a different environment right now.
No, definitely.
And honestly, sometimes with tests or anything, trust your gut feeling, man. Sometimes I had to learn the hard way. Sometimes just trust your gut feeling. Sometimes it's right. You know what I mean? I've never heard of that.
No, definitely.
But trusting your gut feeling is always a good thing. Okay, sometimes I don't know.
100%. I want to shout out a couple of my friends that no matter what happens, I'll always go back to these people. There's 2 different friend groups. So there's me, Aboud, and Yunus. These guys and Mohammed. These guys, I love them so much. But there's this other group of people. No matter what happens, I'll always feel safe around them. There's a guy, his name is Ubaida. Okay. There's a guy, his name, my older brother Rami, Abdul Qadir, Yusuf, and Adnan and Hassan. These guys are my blood. Right, I grew up with these people.
Okay.
And there was times we had rough patches. I'd leave from them and we'd go back and I'd go.
As
and
boys,
I'd go
bro,
back,
come on.
Right. But at the end of the day, no matter what, I always felt safe with them.
For sure.
Right.
For sure.
That's how it is.
They're older than you, of course, right? So they're your kind of like your older brothers in a way.
Definitely. Some of them are my same age as me, and some of them are a little bit older than me.
Still
but
brothers.
At the end of the day, we're all brothers. We're blood, and that's it. No, even if we're not related, family wise, we are blood.
That's what I'm saying. That's how it is. You guys grew up with each other, dealt with everything, bare memories. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's at that point, you guys are considered brothers. You know what I mean? Ride or die. You know what I mean? In a way.
And even people these days that I meet now, I realize, bro, I wish I met these people 10 years ago.
Absolutely.
You know, even for for example, when I recently, for you, I literally met you 6 months ago, 7 months ago.
Back in April. So
yeah, something like that, right?
Literally through Aboud.
And now I'm bro, this guy is such a sick guy. I wish I actually met him earlier. You know.
That's just how life works, man.
Definitely, and God gives you these I believe firmly that God puts people in your path to teach you something.
Literally, that's amazing. That's probably the best thing I've heard today.
Yeah.
That's so fact.
He puts people in your life to teach you something about the future or in the past.
A lesson or
anything.
Just
anything.
Anything.
Right?
That's one thing, low-key. speak upon that, what I dealt with my injury, I see it as a lesson. I see it as a test. It was more of a pro than a con to me personally, because
You learned
yes,
so much.
a con would be, I dealt with pain. Okay. But pro, I see it as more like I'm able to connect to my faith, realize how short this world is, and how much meaningful like afterlife is to me or anything like that, and how much like I need to make an impact on this world, like for myself, like, you know what I mean? I shouldn't just be a bum and do nothing. Like I need to get up and get to work, get grinding, you know what I mean, in a way. So
Definitely.
it just opened my eyes up in a way, and it kind of got me realizing like it's all God to me. That's I kind of helped me realize like it's a wake up call, man. Just get up, start working.
Something that someone told me that really stuck with me is God will only test you if he's trying to teach you something and if he loves you. Right? And I feel like I've gone tested so many times in my life, and we all get tested, right?
Of course.
But the thing is, like, I feel like when I this is kind of like pushing away from entrepreneurship, but that doesn't even matter at this point.
Okay,
we're still talking about like things that advice that you should take into account, right? But I feel like God gives you a test to teach you something, like we said before, right? And if he doesn't give you that test, you're never gonna learn, right? Like what happened with you? Like he tested you with the nerve pain, right? You would have never known your friends like how far they would go for you, or your like the amount of like pain you went through.
Of course,
you would never have learned anything. Like it wouldn't. After that experience, you went back to the gym and you went harder than you did before.
Of course,
you would have never had that wake up call, and
they were
the self reflection time. You would have never realized that self reflection is something that I actually really need to do.
Of course,
right?
I'm telling you, like a lot of pros came along with this whole experience, because I started to realize who really was there for me, what life meant. It just overall, like everything started to kind of start clicking in my head, and realize what you know, meaning of life and everything.
All right, so another question. Let's go back to questions. We kind of drifted off a little bit, but let's have another question for you. Have you tried to promote your social have you ever tried to promote your gym stuff on social media? Like
absolutely, yeah.
What's some tips you would give to someone who's trying to learn how to like promote their things? Or
for sure.
What is your purpose of promoting your stuff? Sorry for the two questions, but
no, that's cool. So right now, of course, I just started in a way like about a couple months ago. I'm doing TikTok, Instagram, constantly just posting on there, posting fitness, such as like key exercises, what you need to do, like going out of calorie surplus, or
calorie deficit.
Okay, there you go, taking the words out of my mouth. As well, for certain people who are beginners who are looking to get into the game, trying to learn to what need to do to, you know, build some muscle mass or lose some weight. Honestly, like I'm telling you, like you guys got to do a lot of research, and on top of that, from there you guys just need to come in, put in some work. You know what I mean? You got to come in 5 to 6 times a week. And then from there, just if you ever see somebody in the gym, let's say a bigger guy than you or whatever, don't be afraid to ever speak to them. Be like, hey, I got a question. Yeah. Because 9 times out of 10,
these guys
they're willing to help
guys.
you out.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, I'm one of those guys. I've had people actually come up to me, hey, do you mind if you help me out?
100%.
I'm telling you, I have the biggest smile on my face. Bet, let's go. I got you, my man.
It makes you feel so good because you feel accomplished. It's like, bro, like these guys look at me as someone who, like, they're not scared of me. You know, I'm not a scary guy. I'm a nice guy. I'm
literally a nice guy. I've been told that I look intimidating, but man, I'm the nicest guy you guys can be, man.
You're a really nice guy.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, like, don't ever be afraid to talk to somebody. Be like, hey, I got a question. I don't know how to do this certain exercise. Do you mind if you give me quick tips, pointers there and there and there? Bet, we got you, man. We don't mind. I'm telling you, no one in the gym will ever mind helping you out. As well, you need to eat, man. Don't be afraid to go to the cabinet, grab some snacks, or don't be afraid to go to the oven, make a meal, whatever, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, when it comes to trying to put on some muscle mass, or if you're trying to cut down, all goes back to the kitchen. You can't just be afraid to put something in your mouth because, might make you fat or that. No, it's all myths, guys. It's all myths. I'm telling you, that's just how life works.
So I want to ask you another question about, so you go to the gym, you go to school, you have a job. How do you manage your time with everything? What are some tips you would give for time management?
So I did struggle a little bit with time management. I'm not gonna lie with you guys. But over time, I started to realize time management is so key with school because it takes a lot of time from morning till evening. Let's say, just going to class, and then you gotta cover your notes, and then you gotta maybe talk to this person about this class, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And then you might have work that night after that, and then on top of it, you're like, you want to get into your hobbies such as the gym. You go in, get some work in. I'm telling you guys, the best thing I ever learned was just grabbing either a notebook, going on your phone, like reminders, or even like this is what I actually do myself. I'll have like a little whiteboard on the wall, and it's like a calendar, right? From Monday, from first day all the way to 30th, right? And I'll literally write down
what you have
boom,
to do.
boom, boom, boom. If I have a midterm on this date, boom, write it down. If I have an assignment this day. And every single day, I actually write down what days I'm going to go to gym. I plan it out from the week ahead when I want to gym. Just to be like, I'm more time organized. You know what I'm trying to say? And I wouldn't write necessarily the time, but I still write the day that I want to be gymming this to this.
So what you're saying is like structure your days in a way so you
Absolutely.
know what you have to do.
That's in my experience, and I find it more organized.
Yeah.
Because if you're just going to wing it, I'm telling you, you guys will struggle. You might get away with it in the beginning, but I'm telling you, in my experience, I started to struggle because time is crucial. Time flies like that. You know what I mean? From 12 p.m. till 10 p.m., it'll go like that in a snap of a second, right? In your experience, you can kind of understand.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to say is you guys need to kind of just jot down what you're going to do from the beginning all the way till night. And I think you actually talked about this, about time management as well in one of your podcasts with that. I think it was Abud.
Yeah, I think it was Abud. We talked about how you need to like structure your day, organize yourself, know what you want to do. Because if you like, you have to know what you want to do the day before, at least minimum the day before. That's what I do. I go and I write 3 things that I want to accomplish the day before, and or 5 things, however many things I have to accomplish. I just wake up the next day and I know my to-do list. Because having to-do lists, you get set off track or something like that, you can always like look back, oh, I have this and this to do.
I can relate to that. Let's save an appointment next Monday.
Yeah.
Right? Next Monday comes, you might completely forget about it.
Yeah, but
it just happens, right?
Lists.
But if you look back in your reminders, boom, oh, I have an appointment actually. Thank God I wrote that down, right? From a week ago. Or a haircut. I always, when I get a haircut, guys, I gotta put down reminders because I tend to forget. It happens to me. It happens sometimes that you forget.
You know something funny today? Today I was at the shop with a Buddha, and he was just like, he's just like, yo, I'm like, what's up? He's just like, guess who's coming today? I'm like, Radwan. He's like, Radwan. I'm like, oh, sick. He's like, well, guess what? He's like, he might be like 10 minutes late. I'm like, oh, okay.
I have that issue sometimes. I'll forget to put a reminder.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it happens.
So
but now, ever since school started, I've been on my game.
They're crucial.
Right now, if I pull up my phone to you, you will see everything written down all the way to the 31st of October.
Yeah.
And then once the end of October hits,
you could do it again for
everything
November.
for November. You know,
December.
there might random things happen in the middle of October, November,
Things are
October, like,
oh,
you had an appointment this, or you got an event coming here, whatever, this and this. Then I'll jot it down, boom, boom, boom. So I can look over. I do it on my computer as well. Anything. Write it down on a whiteboard. Write it down on a little notebook.
You got to have it all around you.
Right?
Yeah.
Even when I was cutting down, I remember sometimes what's really tough when you're cutting down is tracking your weight down. You know what I mean? I would do it every once a week. And if you don't write down your weight from, let's say, day 1 all the way to day 60, you will not remember what weight you started at. It just happens. That's the human body. You're going to forget.
You're going to forget.
But what I used to do, it's going to sound a little funny, but the scale, my weight scale is in my washroom. So once I go to the washroom to do the duty, the notebook's right on the side, right next to the scale. Oh, let me do my weigh-in. It's Monday.
It's perfect.
Boom,
it
write it down.
Like a reminder.
Really, I wrote down everything. I would write down this, and this, and that. I'm telling you guys got to get in that game. When you're jotting down everything, you will get more organized. Time management will come along.
And you become more committed to it.
Exactly. And then you just start to realize how impactful on your life you are. Like you actually feel like you're doing something. You know what I mean? Instead of like, oh, I just woke up at 2 p.m. What do I do? You know what I mean? Like it would actually bother you a lot. Because I used to be like that, man. I'm telling you, like you have to go through certain experiences in your life to start to understand a little bit. And yeah. All
right. So the last question I want to ask you today is, what is something that you wish you would have learned earlier?
That's a great question.
It's a tough one.
That's a tough one. Is there any specific sort of
anything. It could be anything. It could be with your if you're investing, it could be something about your investments, or it could be about your gym. It could be about your life, about your faith, about anything you want to talk about. Whatever it is for you.
I would have to probably honestly say it's a tough one, guys. I'll probably have to say going back to the gym is doing. I feel like I should have made more of an impact with people back then compared to now. Such as what I'm trying to say is pushing on the years as I'm growing older. I feel like I could have made an impact before, and then by now I could have reached numbers, let's say, right? Or I could have made an impact in the city. So let's say back in 2018, I decided to open up a YouTube channel, and I started to put up content, how to do this, how to do that, explaining that and that. Sure, I may not make any numbers, but as time goes on, could have made some numbers there and there and there. Yeah. Time goes on again, start to make more recognition,
yeah.
blah blah blah. And let's say 2020 now, as I'm sitting here, I have something, meaningful to my name, and then I could have, just because I started back then compared to now, you know what I mean? So always make the start today, you know what
Definitely.
I mean? Don't delay till tomorrow.
Don't delay
till next week.
Yeah, my dad always tells me is one thing. He says, don't delay what you're supposed to do today until tomorrow, because if you don't do it right now, you will forget tomorrow.
Of course, that's what I mean. Like, I just feel like I should have started before compared to pushing it, you know what I mean? But of course you have to go.
But you started. That's what matters.
Of course, that's what I'm saying. So
that's all that matters.
So as I started now, I'm grateful. I'm happy, and in the future, I hope to see some big numbers, some big impact with everybody. I want to do some collabs with everybody else. You know what I mean? I'm looking at grabbing some influencers from the city, just make some collab video and just make a connection and just have a great time overall.
100%,
really,
100%.
You know what I mean? I really want to impact the beginners. I want to impact the people who are still learning. Even if you're intermediate lifter or whatever, you still want to learn more knowledge. I want to kind of make an impact with you, so you're able to get inspired, really, honestly. Because one thing I would want to say is motivation is BS, honestly.
100%, yeah. Motivation.
What I learned. Sorry, go on.
Motivation is not real. It's not about the motivation. It's about the consistency, and just keep doing what you're doing.
Exactly. But one thing I learned is discipline. He just said it. So discipline, I'm telling you, I learned at beginning of this year, discipline is literally the drive. When you have discipline, you're able to put your head down and just fucking work. I'm telling you, man, it's something else. It's something else. You just constantly work. Then you look back, I can't believe I did it. Wow. And you won't even realize how much of an impact or how much work you put in, because you just put your head down and just shut your mind off and just worked. You know what I mean? That's with work or anything in life. Anything in life, you can make an impact just by applying discipline. Because motivation comes and goes. You can be motivated tomorrow to
you can be motivated today,
do something, right? And then following
wake up
day,
tomorrow, you're gonna be like,
I don't
want to do this anymore.
Like doing it, right? Exactly.
Yeah. It's happened to me so many times. I'm like, yo, you know
it's
what?
normal.
I'm gonna start my TikTok. I'm gonna start my YouTube channel. I'm gonna start this podcast. I'm gonna start something. I've told myself, for 3 years, I was gonna start something. Okay. Every time I went to go turn on the camera, every one time I went to go do something, I find an excuse to not do it, because I lose motivation, because I'd get these motivation spikes, and then I'd be like, yeah, you know what, I'm going to start tomorrow.
Of course, that's what I'm saying.
You got to be disciplined and start.
You guys got to put in work today. Literally, it's 8 p.m. I don't know whatever time you guys have. Get up and start making that YouTube channel or Instagram or TikTok. Does not matter what it is, but get into putting that work right now,
100%, man. For me, what happened for me when I first started my TikTok, it was a very weird story and a very weird time, right? So I was just sitting at school with my friend. His name is Ali Sayed Ali. Shout out to you, man. You literally, I haven't been doing this for that long, but you literally changed my life. You made me more confident in so many ways. But I was chilling with him in the university. We were in the library, and he's just like, I was telling him how much I love what he's doing, because he started making TikToks too. And he started making some videos. He started doing some stuff, and he was on a podcast too. He has his own podcast. But the thing was, he kept just doing stuff, and I'm just like, bro, I love what you're doing, and I love the message that you're promoting, the things that you're doing, right? You're doing what you want to do, and you're not letting anyone shut you down.
Absolutely.
And then he's just like, yeah, bro. And I told him, I always wanted to start doing this, but I could never do it because I'm just way too afraid of what people say. He's like, listen, bro, F what people say. Get that out of your head. Don't worry about it. And he's like, you know what? Come with me. We're going to go do something right now real quick. I'm like, all right, what's up? Where are we going to go? He's like, come. We walk outside and he's just like, open your phone. Make a TikTok right now.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay. I love that. That's sick.
Because of him, I started. And if it wasn't, like, I'm being serious. If it wasn't for him and my other friend, his name is Mo Ramadan. These two guys, they literally pushed me to do it. They're like, bro, you can't be a chicken for the rest of your life. You got to start. You got to do it right now. They taught me about discipline.
I love that. I love to hear about that, man.
And these guys, they literally changed my life because
you need people like that. You need people like that, man.
You need to surround your people like that.
But you still need people like that. Yeah. Exactly. When you have people like that,
you
man,
have to be with those kind of
people. They just got him to be where you are today now is because of that.
I would not be filming this video, this podcast. I would not be doing any of that if it wasn't for them.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Put that in your head, Ali. Because of you and Mo.
Both of you guys. You guys changed my life. You guys literally changed my life.
I'm telling you, man. And you need people like that in your life, guys. You guys just need to just take a step back, look around. These people really help me out.
Mm-hmm.
This guy really, getting me to where I need to be in life.
Definitely.
If the answer is no, maybe you should construct your life. Like, look around.
Look around. Maybe
I should change up some things.
Change the little things.
If the answer is yes, okay, how can we push each other and how can we take the next step forward?
100%.
You know what I'm trying to say?
100%.
So,
how can we move forward and get into much bigger, more potential? You know what I'm saying? Like, get into a better place.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. So, going back to me, man, honestly, like I'm telling you, like I learned a lot. You know what I mean? And like I said, going back to, I should have taken a step back then compared to now. But I mean, let's say we just started now. It's fine. You know what I mean? I'm looking forward to down the road to see where I could potentially reach. I do really want to make an impact someday. And I'm just looking forward.
I believe you can, bro. I literally
for sure. And I appreciate it.
I see it in your videos. I love your videos. I every time I see them, I'm being serious. Like, I see them on Instagram, I make sure I go like, I'm like, damn, okay, if he posts on Instagram, he probably posts on TikTok. Let me go find him on TikTok. Then I go like them, bro. And like, the thing is, like, I love the message that you're promoting, the things that you're doing, because like the thing is about the fitness industry these days now, it's like people are like they quit too fast if they don't see results, right?
Absolutely.
But results come with time. You got to be able to persevere, go and learn from your mistakes and get better.
You got me on a topic I actually want to speak about that really upsets me as well.
Yeah.
Especially with nowadays we're in, is when a beginner tends to start up and expect muscle growth like that, and then they don't see it. They tend to hop on. No, not even quit, man.
Oh.
They hop on like steroids, or they hop on TRT, which is testosterone boosters or whatever. You know what I mean? All these certain things, man, you're harming yourself end of the day to get a faster result, right? But end of the day, if you want to be a natural and look good, it takes time. You guys might remember, I've been doing it for 6 years. 6 years is a long time, right? I started off I was in 10th grade. That would be 16 years old.
Yeah.
Now I'm 23. So yeah, 7 years now, right? And
took you a long time.
It took me a long time.
And where you are right now, you look really good. And
I'm still not even at my maximum potential. I'm still going to this day to push to get an extra 5 pounds of muscle. Why not, right? I'm still driven, right? Because patience
is key.
And as well virtue sometimes.
100%.
Because I'm telling you, with patience, you will get what you want. You know what I mean? If you want to take a shortcut and reach a certain result, sometimes you'll never really get what you really want, because there's always going to be a con along with it as well.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Like cheating in a test. Potentially you can get caught, and as well, you don't learn.
Yeah.
And you potentially get caught, and I don't know, you can ruin your whole life.
Yeah.
Gets kicked out or whatever. It's never good to take the shortcut, guys. Just put some work in. You know what I mean?
The result and the feeling of attaining that result is so much better if you just be patient.
That certain feeling, you feel like I accomplished something, right?
Yeah, the feeling of accomplishment is just such a good feeling.
Think of this. Okay, we'll give you another example. Let's say you open up a business. It needs construction work. Okay, and let's say you decide to do it. Slap on some drywall, painting, and all that. And then once it's done, you take a step back and look around.
Like, damn, I created this.
Compared to, take the shortcut. Somebody else does it.
Yeah, let me hire someone. They can do it for me. I can get it done.
It doesn't feel
faster.
like necessarily I did this.
You
sure,
build an emotional connection with it.
There you go. I'm telling you the emotional connection to the gym because you put in the work to get to where you are today or the result in the future, right? I had to put in so much work, so much tears and
effort
and yelling and just all this. You know what I mean? Amounts of hours. I couldn't even count the hours to you to right now
100%.
because there's so much hours that have been
So
in
much
there
time and patience.
just to get to where I am today. You know what I mean? The amount of money I've spent is ridiculous just to get to where I am today. But if you really do love something, go out there and chase after it, man.
Yeah, you got to chase your dreams.
You got to chase your dreams.
I said this last time with Mohsen in the last podcast. Don't die with dreams.
Of course.
You got to live through your dreams. If you have a dream, pursue it.
Of course. That's what I'm saying.
At the end of the day, you only live one time, right? Mm-hmm. And after this life, there's an afterlife. But if you live through this life, going through, knowing when you die, knowing that you didn't pursue your dreams, you're gonna live like, damn, bro. What if I did do that? What if I did start that YouTube channel? What if I did start that podcast? What if I did make content?
I'm telling you, I had that little sort of thought process back in the day when I was in high school in grade 12. I remember I was like, I'm about to graduate grade 12, right? I've always wanted to play sports. Never did, right? Mm-hmm. But back then, there's a football team. Even though I'm not good at football, I don't know much about football. Yeah. I mean, now I do, of course, but back then I didn't know nothing about jack about football. But I was like, if I graduate high school and think to myself, I never ever got to play football because I was afraid. It's gonna hurt me down the road later on. Let's say you're 30, 40. Damn, I never played football, man. Mm-hmm. Should have done it. But just because I decided to join the team and play a little bit, whatever, I feel like I accomplished something actually. Just you have to get out of your comfort zone and pursue something and chase after a certain dream. You know, it could be anything. It doesn't have to be a dream, let's just say. Anything. If you just get out of your comfort zone and chase after it, you're going to get a sense of relief and actually feel like you accomplished something in life and be like, man, I can't believe I did it. And that's a good thing I did do 100%,
it. You know what I mean? Because you would never know how it felt if you didn't.
You know what I mean?
It.
Like, what did MJ say back in the day?
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Exactly. Don't be afraid to just give it a shot. What's the worst that could occur? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Let's say you took a risk in life. Okay, you could lose money. Whatever. Yeah, this whole life is money. You know what I mean? Yeah. Money's gonna lose. You're gonna lose money regardless.
Money goes and it comes back. But
comes
time
and
does not.
Of course. There you go. Money comes and goes. Time. There you go. But the thing is, if you decide to not take that opportunity in life, you never know where you could reach yourself. You know what I mean? You never know where you could have potentially be at. You know what I mean? Yeah. If you never spoke to Ali that day, could never be here right now. You could probably be at work or at the gym or chilling with your boy right now and, you know, doing this right now with me. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, you just need to take the opportunity to make connections, take the risk, and go for your dreams. You know what I mean? Even if there's barriers along with the way.
Definitely.
I had to learn that the hard way. I thought about this sort of things while laying in bed. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, you guys need to sit down as well and just think to yourself, because when you make that sort of spiritual and emotional connection with yourself, you start to actually understand who you really are. If that makes sense a little bit.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Because sometimes you won't realize who you are if you're so busy.
You need a second to sit back and realize what you're doing wrong, you know what I mean? Who you are and what you're doing.
Exactly. Sometimes you can make rushed decisions in life because you're so occupied. You know, your mind's just not clear. Definitely. You know what I mean? Let's say when you're making a big decision in your life and you actually sit down and think about it, that's when your mind is clear and you actually can make the right decision sometimes. Mm-hmm. But if you're rushing it, like buying a car, I don't know. You know, I'm just giving you an example. Like if you're just rushing it, so excited, let me do it, right? Then later on you'll regret it. I should never done that. You know what I mean? That's my experience. Like I'm just saying, you guys just need to sit down and think about it. You know what I mean? And if you have a dream, man, get up and do it. Just don't be afraid of whoever talks to you. Say, don't do it, man. You're not gonna make it out there.
At the end of the day, you're gonna die. And you're gonna realize those people died too, but your dreams died because of those people. Don't let other people ruin your dreams.
Of course, that's what I'm saying, man. So don't be afraid, guys. Don't be afraid to do it, guys. You guys can do anything in this world. We're put on the place on this world to attain anything. You know what I mean? There's like in this world, there's meant to be an engineer. There's meant to be a technician. There's meant to be an influencer. Yeah. We're all placed to do something. You know what I mean? Don't be afraid to give it a try. Give it a try. Don't be afraid to attempt to see if this is you. You know what I mean? You never know. You guys could be the best next influencers in the world, or you guys could be the next entrepreneurs, or you guys can be the next guy on TikTok teaching about finance or whatever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But if you never took the shot of attempting to do it, then you never really actually did anything in your life. You know what I mean?
100%.
In a way, like
100%. Literally, that is so true. I've never heard truer words. Well, anyways, man, it was great, and
it's a pleasure.
Had a really good
Hope I don't
conversation.
talk too much, man.
No, man, you talked really. Your conversation really held up. This was probably the best episode I've shot so far.
Appreciate
and
it.
I really appreciate you coming on.
It's a pleasure coming here. I hope to come again, man.
Inshallah, we'll see you
next time.
And soon in the future, we'll have another episode. Maybe we'll have you back on again.
For sure.
And thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and that like button. And his socials will be linked in the description of the video, and so will mine, and so will Adi's too. So make sure you check everybody's stuff, okay? Thank you guys. That was good, man.